Alright folks, we're out here, we're doing something a little different, something we've never done on Nights Boys before. We're out in the woods today and we're doing a little bit of raccoon trapping. I've caught plenty of them in the past. I've been trapping for a few years now, so we're going to get right into this thing. I'm going to show you guys how to set dog proofs and actually find a spot for them. So first off, I'll kind of show you where I am here. So right now we're on just a four-wheeler path that we got, and oftentimes there's a rock line over there. I know the coons, they really like to travel that rock line, but we got a few den trees. There's one big one over there, we got one big one right there. That used to be a den tree before it fell down. Predators really like to move on this four-wheeler trail, so it's just a known good spot that I know predators like to move. Otherwise, if you're going into a new spot and you really don't know where to set a coon trap, where they're moving, and there's no really designed for the trails that you know that they're probably going to be moving on, first thing I would look for is den trees. Look for big trees that have holes in them, and if, like I said, if you got snow on the ground, try to identify if maybe you got some tracks on them, or whatever the case is. Just try to find some sign of raccoons, and oftentimes if you set a trap on some raccoon sign, you're gonna get one. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I set one trap out last night, didn't have too much time to get out, but set one out last night. So after we're done setting this one, we'll go out and check that one, but get this trap set and continue on. Alright, so here's the trap we're going to be using. This is just a simple dog proof trap. If you got a dog, these are perfect traps to put around if you are trapping around your house or somewhere where you're going to have a dog, or maybe somebody else's dog is running through. This is a good trap to set out so that way you can't catch any kind of pets or anything like that. I can't tell you how many predators I've caught. I've caught tons over the years, and as you can tell, these all my traps kind of have some wear on them. These are all traps that I've used in the past. So alright, so I got the trap set. Should look something like this, and if you look at mine really closely, I kind of like to play a game a little bit. I barely have that pin in that notch, and what that's going to do is it's going to just take, you're not going to need as much pressure up on that to pull up on that pin to set this thing off. If you have that pin all the way inside this little holder here, it's going to take that much more for a coon to pull on that or whatever it is, which it's still not going to take much. But if you play just a little bit like this, all it takes is just for a little bump and that thing is going to go off. So I kind of like to get it kind of on the edge like that, but enough to where it's not going to set off on its own. So this coon's on the tree. He ain't going anywhere. He can go around the tree as many times as he wants. He's not going to be stuck in just one little spot. He's going to be able to move around the tree. And I found that this doesn't really matter if you have this hanging here or not. I've covered it up before. I've left it. It doesn't really matter. They don't really seem to care. Otherwise, just grab some leaves or something and put it over. Otherwise, it's not a really big deal. But so now it's time to bait the trap. What I got here is I just got some dog food in here. Super cheap dog food. Just go buy it at the grocery store or something. You don't need no expensive dog food. Just any kind of dog food works. Cat food even works. During the winter months like this, it's the beginning of February here. Raccoons are gonna want some kind of meaty foods. They prefer meat over any sweets or anything like that. So this time of year, I like to use something meaty. So like, you know, I said dog food. I also got some tuna here, but sometimes I found that if you don't catch a coon on the first night or two, this stuff can actually freeze on you. So tuna, I mean, if it's warm enough by, I'd definitely use it. I've caught a lot of coons on it in warmer weather. Otherwise, I'm just using dog food right now. Just simply gonna come in here. If you spill a little, that's fine. I just like to fill the trap up. Now some traps, I'll fill all the way to the top and I'll just use all dog food. Otherwise, sometimes I'll come in here and I'll actually use a marshmallow, but So far this year I've just been using all dog food. I haven't really been using marshmallows, so I'm kind of just going to stick with that. So I'll just top the trap off with some dog food and put a little out here, and then I'll even threw a little bit out on the four-wheeler trail, just a little bit, so that way when they're going on that four-wheeler trail they'll stop in their tracks and they'll smell that and they'll eat a couple pieces and they'll want to come in for more. So otherwise there's one last step that I do. This here is kind of like a bait slash scent. It's pretty strong scented, but just take a stick. I'll just kind of dip the stick in it just like that, and I'll just stick it in the dirt right next to the trap. Bingo. That's literally all you got to do. Trap's done, and you're off to the next trap. So yeah, I'm gonna go set a few more, and then we'll go ahead and go check that trap. All right, we're coming up on the trap that I set yesterday, and it's just up the hill here a couple yards from me, but I can already tell that we got something. Tree's all scratched up and everything. So looks like we got something, and based on how scratched up that tree is, I'm definitely thinking that's a coon and not a possum. So go up there and see what we got. Oh yeah. Managed to get himself tangled a little bit, but pretty good coon. Not a big one or nothing. I've definitely caught bigger, but I don't want to show you guys too much of that, so I'm gonna go ahead and take care of them and then reset this thing. So just got the trap set. Like I said, he's not the biggest coon, but he's definitely a good coon. But the reason I like trapping these coons so much is being that the two things that I mainly like to do in the outdoors, which is turkey hunt and deer hunt. Coons especially, trapping predators for me is a big deal. I've noticed like over the last few years, like I remember when I was just starting out turkey hunting, I mean we would have tons of toms. I mean when I mean tons, I mean we'd have 5 or 6 toms roosted and gobbling within 100 yards of us, and now you're lucky to get 3 of them within 100 yards of you on the roost where we're at. So turkey numbers, and you hear it too, I mean turkey numbers are going down a little bit due to nobody wanting to trap anymore and other reasons, but I've noticed that since I've started trapping coons, I've started to see more and more turkey. I do think that trapping, especially even if it's just coons, has a really big impact on these turkey populations. But even possums are big nest predators, and these predators are mainly attacking the nests, and these days poults have a pretty tough time surviving, and even if you can get one of these guys out, it helps them poults out a lot. So I enjoy doing it. It's fun to be able to come out here after deer season's over and still be able to come outside and enjoy the outdoors, and you feel good about doing stuff like this. You're not trying to get rid of all the predators out there. You're not trying to, just I want them all gone, but you're trying to balance the ratio between predator and prey. And obviously, like I said, we have tons of coons out here. I'm the only one that even traps probably within miles of here, if I'm going to be honest. So I feel like what I'm doing on my little area here is having a little bit of an impact, and hopefully we can have a few more coons and maybe even some possums yet. And I'm going to go ahead and set some coyote and fox traps, which make a video on those too. Those are a little bit more complicated and involve a little bit more technique and knowledge on how to trap those kinds of animals. So but yeah, other than that, it's as easy as it gets for trapping raccoons. I mean, a little bit of dog food, dog-proof trap cable, where if you got coons in your area, they're going to be in your trap. So go ahead and get this guy cleaned up. I've been saving my raccoon pelts past few years. Probably going to end up getting a blanket made out of them because you can't get crap for coon pelts nowadays. So I'm going to take him back to the house, get him cleaned up and everything. Probably make a video on how to skin them and stuff. And yeah, awesome looking coon. So that's gonna be it for this video. Trapping actually ends this week, so I don't got many days left, but try to get as many catches as we can in the next few days and do what we can. So Nights Boys is gonna run year round from now on. You guys aren't just gonna be stuck with deer hunting videos, so I hope you guys enjoy the content that's up to come, and I appreciate you guys for watching, following along, Nights Boys. And do me a favor, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, hit the like button. That helped me out a lot. And I'm gonna try to pump out as much content as I can in the next few days for you guys. So see you on the next one, boys.